Talk 365 TV's Talking Wellness is brought to you by Green HoriZen.
Welcome back, everybody, to Talk 365 TV. Coming at you right now, I had a chance to go and chat with a bunch of people actually up at Green HoriZen and chat with them about their experiences using CBD oil. Green HoriZen CBD oil specifically because it is 100% CBD, absolutely no THC in it. It's an amazing, amazing product. Available right here in Utah. They have a storefront up in Kaysville, and they're also available online. But they have some amazing stories from people who have been using this product. And ironically, a lot of the consumers have now become a part of the company. And the most interesting thing about the interviews, each of the stories that we had, they had been put on medication for something like arthritis or fibromyalgia or epilepsy or seizures. And the medication didn't treat the problem. It made them have more side effects and more problems. So you going into the hospital, what I love now is at least they are more aware and a little more considerate about that because they definitely got you off of the medication really quickly. And I told you my mom's story where she was just almost like comatose, could barely eat, could barely talk. We were like, oh my gosh. And it was all because of, the oxycodone that they had her on.
And whatever works. It's interesting, one of the great Utahns who passed away just recently and tremendous loss, John Huntsman. Mm-hmm. He has really been, and he was suffering from cancer and passed. And obviously the Huntsman Cancer Center at University of Utah, he has just been an amazing benefactor. But he was pushing for more research and actually adoption of medical marijuana in the state. And it's the majority, if I'm pretty sure the majority of Utahns are in favor of it, and they're doing a ballot initiative right now. But that being said, CBD oil doesn't have any of the hallucinatory effect.
None of that is in the CBD oil at all. And so it is just 100% the good stuff that goes in and just takes out inflammation, which is the root of all evil. And I had a chance to chat with this amazing mom, Ashley, and talk about her daughter who was having up to 300 seizures a day. And she is now mostly seizure-free from taking Green HoriZen CBD oil. Check it out.
Talk 365 TV's Talking Wellness is brought to you by Green HoriZen.
Hey everybody, I'm Holly Love and welcome to our Talking Wellness series. Today I am back at Green HoriZen talking CBD oil. I am here with Ashley Neal. Ashley, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
I am so excited to talk to you because you have an incredible story with your daughter, Emma Lynn. And CBD oil is something that because the FDA has not approved it, we can't talk about it except for our personal experiences. I've had incredible experiences with it with my back. I'm completely off of prescription medication. I'm down to just like an Aleve a day kind of thing, which for me is a huge thing. My mom who has arthritis has been benefiting a ton. And I absolutely love Green HoriZen, specifically their product line, because it is 100% pure CBD with absolutely no THC. So it's an incredible product, number one. I love bragging about it, but there are stories so much bigger than mine, and yours is just my favorite of all the games. So let's talk about Emma Lynn and you and how you found CBD oil in the first place.
So Emma Lynn has early infantile epileptic encephalopathy. And so it's a very severe form of epilepsy. She was born with it from a gene mutation. So what happens is she has what's called infantile spasms, which is seizures. So she was having around 100 to 300 seizures a day, and this began from birth and possibly even while I was still pregnant with her.
Which I would imagine, what was your life like?
I couldn't work. I was a stay-at-home mom. Anytime, like I tried to work a couple jobs and I would end up having to quit or I would get fired because she would have these episodes and end up in the hospital for weeks at a time. And I couldn't be there. I had to be with her versus at my job. She didn't go to school because of the extent of her seizures. We didn't go out in public much because of the epilepsy and also because of she had autism as well. So we stayed home.
So what kind of medication did the doctors have you on? What was the prescribed regimen?
So we tried numerous different anti-epileptic medications, Keppra, Lamictal, and they didn't work. Like, they didn't stop the seizures, and that's with her disorder, it doesn't respond to medication. We actually didn't get her official diagnosis until November of 2016.
Wow.
So for her first 5 years of life, she was undiagnosed. Like, we knew she had epilepsy. We knew she had you know, these something else. We didn't know what was causing all of her symptoms.
And was the medication like numbing to her? Did it make her tired? Was it?
She slept a lot. It caused some digestive issues, some mood issues. Like she wasn't happy, you know, that happy kid that I know that she could be. But I didn't know what else to do. You know, of course, you trust the doctors and you just do what they tell you to do.
Oh, I've been there. I totally understand.
Yeah.
So tell me how you found then Green Horizon CBD.
Facebook.
Yeah.
My friend Misty posted, she's a distributor, and she actually posted for a few months before I said anything about it. And finally one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna message her and see, because I knew about CBD, but it wasn't legal in Texas as far as like cannabis, and I didn't know the difference between hemp and cannabis. And I didn't want her on something that had THC.
Sure.
And so like the few that I've, you know, friends have, oh, you can get this at a vape shop, or like it wasn't worth the risk.
Because CBD is legal in all 50 states,
Yeah.
but within the legality, there's a 20% rule that they can put in 20% of additives, and a lot of times that is THC and other preservatives and things that you don't want, which I could understand why you wouldn't want to be giving that to your child.
Yeah, because if you give a child THC and they test positive, they're gonna test positive for cannabis.
Yeah.
And that's when CPS gets involved, and it's not worth losing my child
Lose your
over
child
and me go to jail.
So obviously, Green Horizon being tested at 100% pure was a big deal. Number one, for you to
And that
agree
was
to
the
give it a
first
try.
thing Misty told me, you know, was that they were THC free. And so I ordered it, and the first time that I gave her the CBD oil, she was in the middle of having a seizure. And it's not, and when I say she's having seizures, she's not having like the grand mal seizures that people think of, where you drop to the ground and you shake and all that stuff. Like hers are very different. She has what's called absence seizures, so she just has these staring spells where she'll look off into space, and then she'll come back to reality, and then she'll do it again. And then she has these other ones where she will scream bloody murder, and you can't console her until she just comes out of it. And so the day that I gave her the CBD oil for the first time, she was having one of those screaming seizures.
Wow.
And she had been having it for about 10 minutes, just nonstop screaming, face red, couldn't console her. And she has a G-tube because she went through a phase where she wouldn't eat anything. And so during a seizure, you're not supposed to put anything in their mouth, so I did the CBD oil through her G-tube. Within 10-15 seconds, the seizure stopped. And I have video of it.
Wow, that is like full body chills.
Yeah.
As a mom, having that kind of ability to console and help your child, what was that like?
Something that I never felt before. Like, it was amazing. I cried.
Yeah.
I cried, and I knew from that moment that we were gonna do CBD every day.
Yeah, that's amazing. And tell me the process of getting her off of medication and working with doctors and having CBD be your main source of treatment for her.
So that took a little bit of time. We got lucky with her doctors in Houston, where I mentioned the CBD to her pediatrician first. And she's a pediatrician that only works with special needs kids. And she basically said, as long as it's pure and THC free, go for it. It's not gonna hurt her, so why not? And we did, you know?
Yeah.
And then taking someone off of anti-epileptic medications can cause a lot of issues if it's not done correctly.
Probably have to do a slow
It's
drop
a slow,
down.
slow drop down, because it can make the seizures much worse.
Yeah.
So once we got her pediatrician's approval for it, and then we went probably about a month or two of seeing the progress, and I was reporting back to her, then we let her neurologist know, this is what we're doing, this is the progress that she's made, and they could see the difference in her moods just when we were going to the doctor. And so her neurologist said, yeah, that's fine, like, we'll keep her on the CBD. And then it was, I think, about 5 months on the CBD is when they finally said, let's start taping her off the medication and see what happens.
Wow.
And she was on Lamictal at that time. And she was on an adult dose of Lamictal. And she's only 6.
Wow.
So we, decreased her dose over time, and it took about 2 months to get her completely off. And with over those 2 months, we also got her off her GI medications and all of her anxiety medications. So everything.
So the medications interacting were causing her more anxiety, causing her stomach problems, causing all of these issues as side effects, and not even fixing the problem at the end of the day.
Nothing was helping the epilepsy.
So tell me about having her 100% on CBD. What has happened since? How long has that been now?
Well, June of last year. So
You've had almost a full year. We're coming up
almost a year.
on. And what have been the results? Because I've heard walking.
Yes, so with her disorder, it's not just epilepsy. So what the seizures do is they cause atrophy of the brain. And so she is unable to walk. She's nonverbal. She's on like a 1 to 2 year old level intellectually, so she, is required to be in a special ed classroom. Since starting the CBD, she's standing, on her own, holding on to things. She's holding my hands and taking steps across the room. Just last week in school, she walked across the classroom in a regular walker.
Wow.
And she's never done that before. Like, we have a gait trainer at home, which is like a walker with a piece that goes around the waist. And she hates it. But this she was able to do just holding on and walked across the classroom.
And let's point out that she's in school.
Yes, she's in school. Our life is definitely much easier. I mean, it's still difficult because she still has special needs.
Sure.
But I have a job. I work from home, and I also work here at Green HoriZen. We go to restaurants now and sit down and eat dinner, which is something that we couldn't do before because the noise would freak her out because of her sensory issues. We can go to the mall and go shopping. She handles it. We've done 4th of July Fest, stuff like that, like just any crowds that she couldn't handle before.
Yeah.
She handles them now.
Yeah.
We packed up our whole life and moved from Houston here to Utah. And she's been amazing. The transition has been, the transition that you would expect from any child, but she's doing absolutely fantastic.
And how many seizures is she having now, in general? Versus, 300 plus a day.
She doesn't have them daily. Like, the only time that I've noticed them is if she's sick with a fever, or she's in a situation where she's having sensory overload and she's just super anxious, or there's too much going on all at once and her brain can't handle it.
Yeah.
And that goes with the autism.
Sure.
So,
and the CBD is still, as a treatment in those moments, doing its job, and it'll shut it down.
Yeah, I'll just increase her dose on those days.
Yeah, and then she's fine. Oh my gosh, Ashley, thank you so much for sharing your story. I think it is so amazing, and it's so great to hear because so many people are suffering like you. You're not alone in this, and there are people who are taking medications that are causing them to be more sick, causing them more side effects, and still struggling. If any of this is ringing true to you and you're sitting there and you're thinking, yeah, that's my story, or my mom, or my family, or my sister, or my niece, my child, then you really do need to get up here to Green HoriZen and have a conversation with one of these lovely people that work here, like Ashley, because everyone here, I think, has this amazing conversion story.
And we all use the oil. I use it for myself as well, not just Emmeline.
And there's so many stories. If you go to their website for more information on what the CBD oil is, how they test it, they use it for first responders, and they have policemen in here, and they have people struggling with PTSD. All of those amazing stories are there because of their 100% pure CBD. So get up here, get online, check them out, let them know that Talk 365 TV sent you. And Ashley, thanks again so much for your story.
Thank you for having me.
Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back right after this.